everybody. Thanks for joining me on the Rundown with Ramon. This is Ramon Ray on the Rundown with Ramon. Thanks for being here. We're going to talk about being a courageous leader with Lisa Blackmon. And if you're hearing the sound of my voice, watching this video, getting it through a fax machine, I don't know how you'd be doing it through that, but if you happen to be and you want to join me in this discussion, just email me, ramon@ramonray.com, DM me, contact me. You can find me. But thanks for watching me here on the Rundown with Ramon. Lisa, how are you today? And thank you for joining me. I hope your day is blessed and well.
Thank you so much, Ramon. Everything is well. We're just doing what we need to do to serve the people we've been called to serve.
That's right. We were talking about that offline, right? I was saying how today, as we're talking here, it's a busy day for me, but no complaint, because I told my wife, I said, if you see me sitting on the couch too long, watching too many movies over a course of a day or week, see, that's a problem. So
Absolutely.
day
Get up
I'm on
and
the
get
phone,
moving.
I'm doing and moving stuff, we okay.
Right, right. Absolutely.
So, Lisa, introduce yourself to us. Who are you today? Who do you serve? What do you do? And then I want to talk about that journey to who you are today and how you got there. Speaking of the present, please.
Absolutely. Again, Ramon, I want to thank you just for this opportunity. I'm excited about being here and sharing with your audience. So I am Lisa Blackmon, ESQ. But the people today that see me online, they know me as Lisa B, the life changer. So that's my moniker. I've been called to change lives, and I do that by way of being a courageous leadership coach. And you might say, well, what is that all about?
I was going to say, what is that? I'll just say it. What is that?
Yeah, yeah. So when I think about coaches, I think about people that expand you, that push you. I think about people that will hold you accountable for the goals that you say you want to reach. But when I say courageous, I know that it takes courage to become who we're supposed to be. Now, I'm going to give credit to E.E. Cummings for that. But it's one of those things that I believe is a foundation of leadership. You have to be courageous to make change. You have to be courageous to do the things that are necessary to even pull you into your next. So I work with work in the collegiate space, I work in the corporate space and the nonprofit space with those leaders that know that they've got to go to the next level. So it could be in the form of building a business, because of course, you know, I have the legal background to help them with that. 25 years in business as an entrepreneur. So I bring that to the table along with my personal experience and things that I've learned about becoming courageous, so we can truly develop that next generation of leaders that will really do something spectacular in this world.
Why do you use that word? Obviously, it's very intentional, I'm guessing. Courageous leadership. Why did you pick that word? Why is it courageous? Why do you say it's courageous? Talk about why that word. I get leadership, you know, we use that word, but Lisa's saying courageous. Why is it so important for you?
I think it's very important to me because we as people deal with fear. We deal with doubt. We deal with our past, playing the victim, and all types of things. So there are obstacles that we have to overcome right here in between this head space. And I believe it takes courage to do that. We have so many mind games that we play with ourselves because of the stories we tell ourselves, because of the stories that we're being inundated with, you know, from media, from our family, our friends, even in our spaces where we work. And so sometimes we have to break through those barriers, and it will take courage to do that, because we will sometimes lose relationships. We will lose who we were in order to gain who we're supposed to be. And that's scary sometimes. So it takes courage just to step into that space. It takes courage to want to be a better version of yourself and then begin to make the steps. So I just believe courage is necessary. We had a first day of everything, right? And sometimes our hands were shaking, our heart was beating fast, maybe our voice even began to shake. And so, what we have to understand is that we have to really have the tools that are necessary still to move anyway. So
Entertainment
that's
mogul.
why courage.
No, I love that, and I think let me know if I'm hearing what you're saying as well regarding leading people and etc. But Tyler Perry, entertainment mogul. Those who don't know, Kirk Franklin, you know, gospel album. One of them or both of them said something to the effect of, "The people who brought you here may not be able to take you there, or those who helped you build a $100,000 business may not help you build a $10 million business." Is any of that kind of echoing that as well? That as you grow, as you lead, relationships may have to change, hopefully not in a negative way, but they may have to. Is that, if any of that, am I picking up something there? Am I off track?
No, no, no. You are directly on track, because what we understand is that we love what is um, comfortable. We love what we are accustomed to. And so in relationships, if we have to part the waters, so to speak, then it becomes uncomfortable to have those conversations and to make those moves. And sometimes, again, going back to what you said, it is that people are designated, I believe, for periods or seasons in your life. Everybody is not going to be with you the entire span of your life. So we have to be clear on the fact that their assignment was to get you to this level. And it's not that you negate what they've done for you or how they've helped you. You appreciate that. But sometimes you're going to the next CEO, the next mentor, or the next teacher to help you to get to where you need to go. And it's not, again, that you don't appreciate what they did for you or that relationship, because it helps you to become who you are today.
Yeah, no, that's true. Lisa, can you give us a for example? I don't want you to say, there's a guy named Jerry who is 47-year-old in Texas who called me, we don't want to get people's business here. But can you give me a metaphor of people you help and serve, a for example, or what this could be, mash up names and dates and all that, people you work with, but it's like, is this, I don't know, a scenario, 45-year-old executive who's middle management trying to get ahead, Lisa's work with him or her. Just help me understand, for example of what that story could look like for a leader who's trying to go from A to B. Make it real to us, give us a story.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Let me just give you an example of one of my most recent clients. She has been an entrepreneur for years. We've talked about expanding business for years. And it's not that her bottom line wasn't sufficient for taking care of home, but she was also working herself to the bone. And so one of the things about leaders, sometimes we have visions, we have missions and things that we want to put in place, and we are afraid to give somebody else the baby, which means sometimes we're afraid to build team and say, hey, can you carry this for me? Because sometimes we feel like we're the only ones that can carry it. You know how it is. Nobody can do it like I can. But part of my goal with working with her was teaching her to trust others, vet them properly, to help her carry the vision so that she can expand her business and come from, from doing all of the grunt work to allowing team to assist her to get to the next level. Because we know no man is an island, right? When you try to do it by yourself, yeah, you can get a little distance on you. But if you want to go far, that proverb, you need to take some people with you. And so we worked with her mindset, helping her to expand her mindset, to give the vision to somebody else, to employ other people, as well as work in the global area where she was able to make some connections so she could expand her business. She had fears about doing those things. So we help you to get past those fears, because I know, again, it's still going to take courage. And so we have to deal with our minds. Most of the time, you've heard it probably in the past, we are the enemy, because the enemy is within me. It's the mind. And so I work with entrepreneurs like that are looking to expand their business. They are looking to up level, and they're looking to be accountable for that. Because one thing Lisa B is going to do, she's going to hold you accountable for what you said you want to do and who you said you want to become. That's part of what I love to see as I work in this business. So that particular client, I want to say she is 40, 42-ish or something like that. And so I can see the expansion, and she's given great testimonial, for which I'm thankful. That means that I'm in purpose. And so that's really what I'm really more concerned about, being in purpose. As long as I can do the things that are necessary to leave here on empty, I'm good.
Ooh, I love that, Lisa. I can't wait to see you on stage somewhere or whatever, or some platform. But so what I'm hearing, Lisa, is that in this case of this leader, and maybe other leaders who we're talking to right now, and again, everybody, let me pause, Lisa, one more time. Tell us again, Lisa, your full name of your business, how we can reach you before we go on. Please promote yourself, highlight yourself, please, in the middle of yourself.
Absolutely. Excited about doing that. So again, Lisa Blackmon, you will find me as Lisa B, the Life Changer. That's where you will find me. If you go to my website, lisabthelifechanger.com. Again, I say I'm listed like that because I am called to change lives. So you can reach me there, lisabthelifechanger.com. That is my website. Again, I am called to serve leaders, to help develop courageous leaders. Again, it requires courage to do anything that we're going to do and to become who we're supposed to be. So go to my website, or you can email me at thelifechangerspeaks@gmail.com. The Life Changer Speaks. So I'm a speaker as well. So I come to motivate and inspire, but at the end of the day, I come to teach so you can transform.
Ooh, I love that, Lisa. Thanks for saying that. So what I'm hearing you say, Lisa, an example you gave, and I'm guessing this may echo about others. It's not about they didn't have money, which could be the case in this, but this scenario, that didn't have money, not that they didn't have good revenue. They were mature, smart person, successful, as it were, contextually doing good. But I'm just repeating, it seemed like it was all here. This wasn't about how do you get more money? I can't get a bank loan. I need a lot of credit. I don't know how to use TikTok. None of that. This was just let it go and trust and hire right. Am I right? This has nothing to do about revenue in this example, and probably a lot of leadership. We're doing good, smart people. We just, as you said already, blocked here. Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. And that's the thing that keeps us from going to our next, from pushing the button, from making the phone call, from sending the email, the text message, or even asking, who do you know?
Mm.
Sometimes we're fearful because of the rejection that we've gotten. And sometimes we've had successes. It's not that we haven't had that. But when we go to the next level, it's almost like we've forgotten our past wins. And so I'm here to remind you that you've been able to win in the past. Now let's win on another level.
I think that is powerful. I love that. Lisa, what got you here today? Can you give us some highlights, some milestones in your journey? We don't have to go from birth per se, unless that's a part of your journey, but just help us understand what got you here today, where you've been, what you've done, what you haven't done, highs and lows, whatever, to the Lisa Blackmon that we know today. Talk about that journey.
Absolutely. So I think the defining moment, so to speak, was after I graduated from law school, and they had this thing called the bar exam. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it, stayed away from it, never wanted to know what it was too much, but I've heard of it many times.
Well, let me tell you, it's the devil. It's the devil. But I will tell you that from my history, I had a lot of affirmation from my mom. And so
Okay.
let me just say it like I want to say it. I was the smart girl.
I got it.
And so, when you go and you do things and there's been success and then failure shows up at your door, I call it the mountain.
Yes.
It kind of knocks you on your butt.
Yes.
And that is what happened to me with the bar exam. Not one time, not two times, but I had to go three times. And what happened was that I lost confidence. I lost that sense of being courageous, of being the girl, because I was the girl. If they needed somebody to tell them, go get Lisa B.
You start
She's
to
gonna
doubt yourself.
tell.
Imagine Michael Phelps, the Olympic swimmer, losing 6 times. After a while, you were the best. Something's going. You're wondering, but continue. I feel it. I get it. Go ahead.
Right. And so what I learned from that, after running up against that mountain over and over again, and it was one of those things in retrospect, how we learn things that hindsight is like, oh, I wish I knew that then. But what I learned from those failures from the bar exam was, I guess what I call my signature system now. It's called FACT, FACT, faith, action, courage, and tenacity. That is a fact. Okay. Trademark, by the way. I'm an attorney.
Be like, Ramon, before you use it and claim it as yours, hold the phone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, but that's what I learned from that. And so even as I began to go to a place, I was applying for some jobs, rejection, even in that after I passed the bar exam. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to do it myself. So I opened my own firm, but it was still scary. I still didn't know which way to go. I had a couple of mentors, but the truth of the matter is, many of them, they were running their own firms as well. So they really needed to be vested in that. Coaching wasn't a big thing at that time, 20 something years ago, not in my life. It wasn't something I had exposure to. So I would say that since that bar exam and since that experience, I've just really had to really dig down and say, Lisa, you still got to be courageous. And I still run into times where I get a little shaky.
Absolutely.
It's the human factor. It's like, can I do this? My husband asked me just the other day, I'd been solicited to run for a judge on many occasions. And I told him, I said, well, it's not something I'm interested in. Then he said, is that really what the reason is? I said, I think they might not vote for me.
Wow. He knows
How
you.
about that?
He knows his lady, right?
How about that? And so I'm simply saying that life itself is teaching me how to be more courageous. It's teaching me to be transparent with people. I don't have to be a superwoman as I once thought I had to be. I can have some failures and learn from those failures, but the important thing is still moving forward. The important thing is still encouraging my clients and creating programs and systems for them to move forward so they can expand their brands, diversify their cultures if necessary, have those hard conversations. Those are courageous conversations that are necessary, and leaders have to have those conversations. Yes. You won't have that growth that you need. Sometimes you won't get the people that you really need because you're afraid to have the conversation. And so I help you get past those mindsets, because that's fear, that's doubt, and then sometimes it's ego. I call that really edging God out.
Fact and ego. I love it. Lisa, help us understand who's the person who's listening to us now who you're like, you need me if, you know, it's one thing if my arm is broken, Lisa, I get it. I could see it or feel it, some intense pain. I go to the doctor. But some things we can't always know or see if you understand what I'm even trying to ask clumsily. But how do I know I need Lisa or your peers? I need help in leadership. What's the pain point or whatever that I know I need help? If I don't, yeah, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I would say some of the pain points, let's just say, for example, in the collegiate setting, okay? So, because I serve the colleges as well, some of their leaders there. If you know that you're having problems with retention, part of retention problems because people don't know which way to go because they're giving in to the voices of other people saying, hey, you should major in this, you should minor in that. So they need to understand they have to be courageous enough to walk their path. For me, I guess because I was always that person, you're not going to tell me kind of thing, you know, but everybody is not that person, but you can become the person that's confident in who you're supposed to be. So if retention is a problem, if your students are in a place where they're just really discouraged about the path they're on, sometimes they need to understand the greater that's on the inside. I help to pull those things out because sometimes people have not been told they have greatness on the inside. They don't know what their true gift and calling is. So we set up a program whereby they can really understand. We go through the analysis of it here. This is your path. Choose. Will you walk today or not? And then we give them what I call tools to help them stay on path for success. So that's in the collegiate setting. In those corporate settings, my background is that I also have a minor in Black Studies. So I do some DEI work. So I know that diversity, equity, and inclusion is so important in becoming a leader. And I do know that some people are like, oh, we're already doing that. Are you really? Are you really having those tough conversations? Or are we doing the surface level? I like to dig deep and really find out, not just from, you know, the leaders, but from the team, how are you feeling in this case? What can we offer, you know, as the company to help you feel like this is the place that I need to be? And then also making sure that the teams are the ones that are benefiting from what's going on in the company, meaning professional growth is there, but the right people. Sometimes we just hit the numbers. We brought somebody in. You need to bring somebody in that can really change lives. They can touch not only the minds of people, but we need to touch the hearts of people, because if we can catch you in the heart, then we can catch you in the mind and help you to get transformed. It's about being able to connect. So I tell God all the time, Lord, let people that are supposed to be connected to me, let it be a clarion call. Let my voice be the one that they need to hear. So again, I come in to motivate them, to inspire them. We can talk about sales and things like that. But at the end of the day, if this is not a culture in this company that works well, we need to talk to you and find out what the root cause is. So we offer the assessments for that to really find out. And we ask for truth and transparency, because that's what we can work with. Enough of the tales. You're not getting, you know, the production that you need. You're not getting people that are staying. And so we've seen it. What, the Great Resignation? It's still going on.
Wow.
And the reason it's going on in some places is that the culture is not what it needs to be. And the anointing flows down. So we have to get the team leads to understand you've got to be able to communicate with people and really have those transparent discussions, and not the discussions where it's one-sided, where you just say what you see. No, you need to hear what they're living.
I love that. Lisa, one more question for you. Then if I didn't ask you something or something you wanted to share, feel free. But do you find that today in 2023, 2024, Lisa, with all the research and data we have, you know, Chat GPT, that some companies, some leaders still think it's about speeds and feeds, or still think, you know, our production's low because of advertising or sales are off, and don't really get that it may be all that's fine or not, but there's the human dimension. No, you have poor leadership, poor corporate culture. Do you find that people still, that are you surprised when you go in there like, no, it's not about your Facebook ad wasn't on, not about funnels. It's no, these two people here, they're toxic. Are you sometimes surprised that people don't get it, or that's what you do for a business, so maybe not?
No, I would say sometimes I'm surprised, but sometimes I'm not. And that's all because we are inundated with technology, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, the Chat GPT, let's get some more marketing, let's get some more ads and things like that going. Why isn't it producing?
Right.
Sometimes it's because the people that are the ones that are really making it turn, they're the ones that are unhappy. they're the ones that are not being properly served. I told someone just the other day, you know, when we deal with leadership, you need to make sure that as a team leader, as a visionary, that you take care of your people that take care of your clients.
That is so important. I learned
That
that
right
concept. Clayton Mask, founder of Keep, marketing automation software, he would drill that into us, say that something like shareholders or what you just said, but somehow the frontline staff will take care of the customer. My job is to take care of my staff, and the shareholders were, he just went in. It's a circle.
It really is. But the thing is, I don't want us to get away from the human factor. You know, I know that we have robots and computers that can do a lot of things, but what I know they can't do is they can't touch you the way that the human voice can touch you.
Can't do it.
They cannot. They cannot touch you the way that even, and you know, we understand their boundaries in workspaces, the way that, you know, a handshake or a tap on the back or it's going to be okay. They can't. They cannot. So I don't want that. You know, I don't want any people that are in corporate spaces to think that technology should take the place of the human factor. We need human beings. We need each other. We need the compassion that we hear in the voice. I can see something on a text message, but if I hear your voice.
Happens to me all the time. I'm a emailer. I'll email 1,000 times before I have a phone call. That's just me. But sometimes I realize, no, I said, Lisa, nope, I'm good. Lisa thought I slashed her, cursed her out, and hated her. No, I didn't. And I said, Lisa, no, I'm good. I was in a rush talking to my wife, trying to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But or vice versa. So I love this. Lisa, I want to give you time to anything else you wanted to share with us. But I was going to, when you mentioned Pat, I totally get it. My boss, I used to work at the United Nations before I was fired. His name was Jacques Fomorant. I'll never forget when he came up behind me. His deep French accent, gravelly voice. He put his hand on my shoulder and he said, Ramon, terrible mimic, but Ramon, I appreciate you. I know this has been a tough year for you because we had some things happen, but I can feel his imprint. It was years ago, Lisa. I can feel, and part of it because my love language is affirmation and hugs, and that's me. That turns me on. That's my thing. But to your point, Lisa, and again, corporate environment, whatever, we're today, 2024, but the principle is that human connectivity. It goes far. Maybe I don't have money to pay Lisa. She don't have money to pay me. But she just says, yo, Ramon, yo, bruh, whatever she wants to say. Thank you. Woo! That may last me for 6 months. Talk about whatever Lisa, and whatever you want as we get ready to end our show today. It's been so great hearing Lisa Blackmon, who helps leaders be courageous and more. But Lisa, talk to me.
Yeah, so absolutely. So let me just say this, Ramon, when you really gave the reenactment of that particular interchange, I tell you what, tears almost came to my eyes.
Mine too. Every time.
And it is because it is so important for us to not forget the person on the other side of the cubicle. They might have a lot of challenges and things like that going on. And so that's one of the things that I need us to really understand, even as courageous leaders. We have to be willing to not just talk about emotional intelligence, but to activate on that thing. You know, it becomes a buzzword sometimes. Oh, we're going to go to a class for this, that, and the other. But if we don't ever implement, I tell people, you know, information without activation leads to no transformation. And so we want to be transformed. We want to be changed. We want to be better leaders. And the thing about it is that even when we're better in our corporate spaces, as we personally and individually become better, we take that to our home. Which in home, that's where it starts, right? Charity begins at the house. So when we know how to treat each other at the house, it's a good thing. I'm just saying, you know, don't treat me well on the workplace, in the workspace, and then come home and it's a wreck. So we want the leaders to be courageous enough to have those conversations at the house as well. So it's super exciting to me. And I do believe that it's important for us to remember that it's going to take courage. And so I do want to remind you, I do have some tools available for people, and you'll find those on my website as well. My first offering is my book called Courage to Pursue, A Guide to Greatness. And so some of the things that we talked about, getting past fear, doubt, the blame game, getting past the governor in your head that blocks you from going to your next level. We give those tools that are necessary. But again, activate on them. Don't just read them. We're good at reading. You know, I have a monthly membership for Audible. We'll have it forever. But I know that if I don't implement some of those things I'm hearing, I won't see change. So that's one of the main things that I encourage leaders to do, even as you come into your various sessions and your coaching, your mentoring and teaching. Don't just take it and let it go in one ear and out the others. I want to encourage you to implement. If you want to see it change, if you want to see courage show up, start doing some of those things that you've been hearing about. If you want to see cultures change, start doing some of those things. It's not going to be easy. Nobody said it would, but I tell you, it's worth it when you see the change, when you see your employees, your team members, your family members, those you've been called to serve, when you see them living a better life, baby, you can say, okay, now we really did something. It's about legacy. It's not just about money. Legacy is about your name being called and people remember that you did your part. The world is better because you and I were here. And that's part of my goal at the end of the day. So again, you can connect with me on my website, lisabethelifechanger.com. You can purchase that book there, or you can go to Amazon to purchase it as well. And so here is my other note, Ramon. We have another manual coming out. Last thing.
Tell us.
It's called She Did It Anyway.
Woo.
This one is a guide to getting out of your own way. And so it releases on my birthday, which is November 20th. I think that's Monday. Yes. So it will release. And so that one is, of course, it says she, but I tell you what, information can go across the board from anyone. So I'm super excited about giving people more information about really getting to a place where you're operating not only in courage, but in your zone of genius. How about that?
Come on now. Boom, boom. Now you're really my friend. You're my friend.
Where did I get that from?
No, Lisa B, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you are a breath of fresh air. And I hope people check out your book, people download your materials, check out your website. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, definitely go. And Lisa, one more time, the website. Now you said it, but one more time.
LisaB, thelifechanger.com. And of course, we also speak, because speaking is part of the gifting that we have to motivate your people. And again, we will teach them to transform them. I am your girl, Lisa B, and I am the life changer.
I love it. And I'm Ramon Ray. You can get to know me better at RamonRay.com after you check out Lisa B, the life changer. And again, thanks for joining us today on The Rundown with Ramon. We hope you live your best life, grow your business. If you want to be on The Rundown with Ramon, just find me somewhere, DM me, just reference it. I'll find it. I'm online all the time, way too much. But Lisa B, thanks so much for being here on The Rundown with Ramon.